This is the MorrowMarriage podcast, guys, where we hold nothing back. I encourage you to go a few episodes back and listen to my narcissistic relapse. I know I keep saying it, but that's because it's so important for people to understand that we're not perfect, and we do make mistakes, and it's how you get through that. And so today, though, I wanted to talk about something, just a request. Somebody I think must have been in tears writing me a message, and it was really about, she wanted me to create some content that would share what a woman feels like knowing her husband is A, using porn, B, throwing the porn in her face because she won't have sex with him, and C, this one's for me because of some of the women in your program, the way that he's forcing or wanting to push the activities he wants to do with her because he watches porn. We're going to talk about why peace is so important in the home.
Stop trying to lead and make decisions all the time.
You should not be proud if you raised your voice and screamed at them.
No matter what.
No matter what. I'm Cass.
And I'm Kathryn. Why am I allowing him to do this in front of our children? Why am I allowing this to happen at all? You don't get to say whatever you want to a man and push him to the point where he snaps.
I might have been a really bad man the other day, but today I went out of my way to be a good man, and she thanked me for it.
Is that you always want to act in the direction you want to go. So
He is just a paycheck. What about his needs?
we're MorrowMarriage.
Let's flip divorce statistics with the new marriage.
And I think that we have so many men listening to this that I just really think this is so valuable. First and foremost, I think porn's fucking gross. If you don't understand it, people are being trafficked, men and women, boys and girls, around the world to create this shit. You are literally supporting one of the worst fucking industries on the planet. Smack yourself across the face for that right now.
Mm-hmm.
First and foremost. Second of all, let's talk about what we're here for today. So when a woman feels this, I should have put that in quotations for the title, but honey, can you help us a little bit?
Yeah, well, fortunately, I don't have a lot of experience with this because it's not one of your issues. We've had a number of isolated incidents with porn. And so I can speak to it from the women in my program. They feel betrayed.
Mm-hmm.
They feel inadequate. They feel less than. They feel grossed out. They feel they think that you're disgusting. They think that you are almost subhuman and inferior because how can you possibly need to fill your cup with something so...
Well, it's fake. It's not, it's totally not real. It's the things that you're seeing, even from place to place, you put pee, like it's not possible without causing infections. Like it's just so not real. You're living in fairy tale land, number one. Okay.
Yeah, these women that are doing all of this are needing to be on medication after. They are they're literally trafficked. Maybe they're not on medication because
some choose. We know that
there are
choose.
some, but for a large part of the porn that is out there, it is women that are, sometimes their faces are not shown because they are not even of age. You have to let that sink in that some of them are children. The reason that their bum cheeks are so small is because they're 12. Sorry to paint that picture for you, but they haven't gone through puberty yet. So, and sometimes their bum cheeks aren't as big because they're not girls.
Okay, men, I want you to think about what Kathryn said a moment ago about your wife being repulsed. Now, your thought is, well, and by the way, oh my gosh, I should have said this from the beginning. I know that this is also an addiction, and I know it's a coping mechanism. Okay, and that's what we're about to talk about. There is help. You can definitely DM me on Instagram, and I will give you a wicked resource. It's totally free. She's a buddy of mine now, and she helped a lot of men get off porn. I feel like it's 11,000 men or something. And she keeps starting over with her Instagram account because it keeps getting shut down. And so she's good. She came and spoke to my men one day. She's good.
She's coming to speak to my women. We understand that this is a problem. We just don't want to be like, oh, it's okay if you have this problem. It's not like, oh, you're addicted to smoking. It's okay. No, it's different. You're addicted to this. We don't necessarily want to, I do want to make you feel a little bit bad about it, to be quite honest with you.
I want you to do something about it.
Yeah, and I want you to understand how serious it is. It's not just women that like to have sex. It's also women and little boys and little girls that are being trafficked.
That's right. Now, you know, when you think about your wife being repulsed, now you're thinking, well, I have my needs. I need to get my needs met. Okay. What you'll learn in, well, both of our programs, when you give to your partner everything they need, you get more than what you think you need. So I'm going to use men, for example, because I'm talking as a man. Okay. Air, food, and sex. Yes. Covered. No, that's what you've been told. That's a fucking lie. We have so much more than that. I submit to Kathryn. I pour into Kathryn. I give her everything that I fucking can. And she is all over. Like there's things I never would have thought about that are so amazing that you just don't realize because your needs aren't being met right now. Okay. So you escape or cope with porn. It's what I have something called a safe reaction. I teach you not to do a safe reaction. Okay. And sabotage is the S. Coping with porn, sabotaging with porn is one of them. Go back to being repulsed. Okay. By the time you guys are not intimate anymore, so many of you, I know there's issues like menopause, but we're not going to talk about any of that right now. Okay. Not babies, nothing. Okay. But by the time you have this sexless marriage, okay, where you're not intimate and you don't have, well, you're just freaking roommates or less. Okay. What happens is your partner is typically not interested, not into you. You've heard this before. Okay. I'm not in love with you. Okay. You know, Kathryn had said to me at the time, I'm not attracted, I'm not in love, and I'm settling. Okay. Not at the time of porn, just when I heard her version, and later to find out that she was repulsed.
I was repulsed, yes.
Right. And so hold up, make the connection from what she just said about porn. You just now, I didn't have a porn problem. Like she said, a handful of times where I did a really bad thing. She was on the couch she went to sleep, and I was at the table.
I think we've talked about it in other episodes.
Yeah, they might not have heard it.
Mm-hmm.
So like the point is, like, at this time that I heard this from Kathryn, this wasn't even like, you wouldn't even cross our radar. Okay. And
thank God. And I feel so much empathy for those of you who are going through it on the wife's side and the husband's side.
Yeah, but just look at that. So if she's not into you and she has a version of being repulsed, grossed out, you only care about using her for sex, or whatever her thought process is at this time, now you just multiplied it by 10 billion, because there's all these reasons why she's going to think you're just a teenage boy. She's going to think you're gross and don't care about the trafficking. She's going to think you're selfish. She's going to think you're wasting. This is something I teach you. You're wasting all that time. Literally. Some guys are doing it for half an hour to an hour, man. All this time you could be learning skills to save your marriage and actually have the intimacy that you want. And by the time many of you click in, dudes, you're so far down the rabbit hole that this is where we call it addiction. Like, it's just, especially if you had problems before the marriage.
And a lot of your wives consider it cheating.
Yeah. It's a betrayal regardless. You just have to, guys, I know that we say things that you might not agree with. This is the reason why your marriage is failing and why we call it the new marriage.
Meanwhile, the wives on the other side of the screen are high-fiving each other in the virtual world. The men are like, it's not cheating. And the women are like, oh my gosh, someone else sees it the way that I see it.
Lust is lust.
Yeah.
That's it. And you could be looking at a screen and saying, I don't lust. Then why are you growing right now? If you're a woman doing the same thing, why are you just, it is. It's not cool. Okay. So I'm not going to go too far into this. Do you have any more you want to say on this?
No, I think we've covered it. I think that oftentimes the issue is when men are watching porn and the women are feeling like, this is what I feel like when you watch porn. But you need to think of it from both perspectives. If your situation is flipped, then it's the exact same thing. We, as the perpetrator versus perpetratee, feel betrayed, feel cheated on, feel less than, feel inferior, just feel gross and don't feel connected is the overall, picture. And we do understand that there are reasons behind it. Maybe you're not having sex. Maybe you have an addiction. There's all kinds of things that go into it. It doesn't excuse it. Those are just reasons. And like Cass said, there are people that can help you with it. You don't have to. If you're feeling bad about yourself right now, listening to what we're having to say, we don't want you to live there. We want you to use that as a platform to jump out of.
That's right. I did think of one more thing before we end this, and that is that if you think about it, good sex, passion, I call it mad, passionate sex or sex life, that comes when you're both so confident and you're so confident with each other and you just are like that kind of level of partnership, next level. Okay. You're going to make your partner feel bad about themselves. You're going to make your partner feel like guilty. You cannot go listen to an episode about negativity and positivity and neutral. Like if there's negative feelings, you can't create positive. So you're just harming everything that you want for the future if you're the one using porn. Oh, and if you're doing it together, I mean, guys,
that's a totally different podcast. That's a totally different topic.
Okay.
Yeah. I do want to say though, one of the things that you said was you want to feel good. You want to feel confident. One of the other things that comes into this is that women are not going to feel confident. So let's just say that they're not underage and that you're looking at women that are 18. They're not 18 at women. Just throw that in. No. So, but let's just say that it's legal. It's fine. And you're looking at an 18-year-old. No 35 to 45 to 55 to whatever year old woman who's had a couple of kids is going to feel good about herself knowing that what turns you on is an 18-year-old underdeveloped non-baby body. We're not going to be able to feel good about that. And it doesn't matter how fit you are, you're just not going to be able to feel good about comparing. Your wife is going to compare herself to an 18-year-old porn star, and it's not going to breed connection.
They could be the same age, but maybe it's the boob size, like whatever. Like
maybe
at the end of the day, it just doesn't matter. Hopefully you guys got a lot of value out of this. We're just really passionate about this topic. It's hard. I get it, especially if you've been doing it for a while, but if you're into it, it's time to let it go. There is help. Okay. All right. Have a good one, guys. We'll see you on the next one.